Hey, good morning. Welcome. 6 a.m. Actually, 6:02 a.m. I got a little messed up with the tech, but we are getting started today. 6:02. I already did my journal, so if you have your journal, pull out your journal and write a few things that you're grateful for today. So I'll tell you what I wrote today so far, and I talked about my just getting up early. Honestly, I used to get up every day at 4:45. I kind of got off schedule with that. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Can you hear me? Oh, you know what? I'm might be heard. Check my mic. If you guys can hear me, let me put these things in. Maybe you can't hear me right now because my testing. Testing. Can you all hear me? If you can hear me, drop a thumbs up or something in the chat. That'll be super helpful. Okay, based on this, it doesn't look like I'm getting any audio. Am I getting audio output? All right, hold on one second. Let me go to my settings. Well, good morning. I'm happy you're here with us today, and it is early. Okay, that looks like it's working. Talent, pro input, talent. All right. Let's see. Settings, audio. Let's try that. AirPods. AirPods. Testing 1, 2. AirPods. Testing 1, 2. All right, good. Okay, well, welcome. It says it's working. I don't know. I don't see the little icon lighting up though, so I'm guessing it is. If y'all could give me a sign, I know there's a few people on here right now. Just drop a, if you can hear me, give me a thumbs up. Appreciate it if you can give me a thumbs up, then I know we are being heard. So let's see if we can get a thumbs up from somebody. That would be super helpful. Listen, I'm just like I said, I'm happy starters to let me drop something in the chat. DFW. All right. Can y'all give me a thumbs up? Let me know you can hear me. Appreciate it. I know we got looks like we got a few people on here. So appreciate you being here, by the way. And yeah. Well, I'm gonna assume you're hearing me. And listen, a couple of things I wrote down today. Number one is I'm excited to be getting back up super early again. Used to get up at 4:45 when I was training. I got away from my training, well, only because I already did my race. I'm gonna start training again, but I wanted to start this day early morning, 6 a.m., just to kind of get our mindset going right, get some people together, and just get plan your day. I believe the day starts now. I've already read. I've done my 20 minutes reading. I got up. I did my prayer. I've studied some scripture. I went through my goals, which my goals are in this book. This is my business goals are in here. You see, and I have all my goals written out. And then my personal goals in my personal journal is here. So I actually separated them. I separated them on purpose. So I keep this with me as well. So some of the things I'm grateful for is my wife, my daughters, my health, being a great dad. Grateful I can come on here and do this, right? Grateful for the technology that lets me do this and be able to stream to multiple platforms. Right now, I'm streaming to Facebook, a Facebook group. I'm streaming into X, and I'm also streaming to YouTube. So how about that? That's pretty cool, right? Technology that you can do that. Actually, you know what I'm gonna do? Let me test that on my phone. Make sure that because that's how I'll know if I have sound. That's how I'll know if I have sound. So let me pop on YouTube for a minute. See if I have some sound here. That's yesterday's. All right, hold on. Let's see what we got going on. Go to live. All right. It's not showing it. I'm trying to find this. If so, it looks like there's like 3 people on here. If someone would just drop a thumbs up in the chat, then I would know that we can hear it. And it would be a lot easier. You guys could be It would be nice and helpful, I'll tell you, but since nobody's doing that, I've got to kind of track this down myself. So let's see. I'm going to go on to X, see if I can hear myself. And hey, don't forget to, let's see. I cannot hear it. Hello, hello? Let's see. Oh, yeah, it's working. All right, great. Okay, good. Well, I know I have sound now, so I tested it out on X. Great. All right, well, listen, again, personal journal. Already did my entries for today. Business journal. I already reviewed my goals today. I review my goals in the morning and I review my goals again at night before I go to bed. All right. I've already done some, read some from the scripture from the Bible. To me, that's important. And now I'm jumping on with you guys. And now, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to play some of Pat Quinn. And hopefully this works because this is what I am studying right now. So let me go to my screen. I'm going to share my screen with you. Let's see, share screen. The next stages. Window. Tab. I don't know if I should do, let's see. Okay, yeah, also share audio. Beautiful. All right, this should work. All right, let's try this. Click. Oh, to share audio, share a tab. Okay, good to know. All right, well, then that's what I need to do. Share this one. And we're going to play some of this morning because this is my training right now.
What % of your audience takes the next step? The word that we have for this is
Pat
high
Quinn.
converting. I help people create high converting signature talk.
So make sure you take some notes.
What's a
At the end,
talk?
I'm going to
One talk
ask
is all you need. One talk that is flexible enough
for
to be
some
done in 3
takeaways.
minutes or 45 minutes. Flexible enough to be done in front of one person across the table at Starbucks or on stage in front of 500 people. One talk that can be done in the room with someone or online on a Zoom call, on a Facebook Live, on a webinar. One talk is all you need. One high converting talk. I've been fortunate over the last 10 years to work with some of the greatest speakers in the world, from Damon John and Tony and Grant and Dean and household names that everybody knows. And in the room with someone that I work with are not professional speakers. Most of the people that I work with would not call themselves speakers.
This is Pat Quinn, by the
Most
way.
of the people that I work with are business owners, just like you, who want to grow their business and attract new clients. And I believe the fastest, most efficient way to do that is by having a single high-converting signature talk. And so today, I'm going to show you step by step how to create, and you today are going to create a signature talk that is flexible enough to be done in 3 minutes or 45 minutes, online or on stage, one-to-one or one-to-many, that you will use for the rest of your life. And the best part is, you can teach every single person in your company to give the same talk. So that it's not just you spreading the good news, it's everybody spreading the good news. Is that good news? Yes. I know, they wanted it. I know this. Well, I can ask you, which is better, predictable or unpredictable? Predictable is better. I can show you how to create a predictable talk. I know predictable is better. I learned this the hard way. I have 2 daughters, and about an hour south of our house, there's this giant amusement park called Six Flags Amusement Park in Chicago. And my kids wanted to go there so badly, so I drove them down there in the middle of the summer, a couple summers ago. And it was 100 degrees out that day. And I didn't want to walk around on blacktop in 100-degree weather, so I just dropped them off and let them go to the park on their own. And I ran some errands in the Chicago area. Now, before I tell you this story, I have to tell you something about myself. I'm a sucker for advertising, okay? I don't know about you, but I watch television commercials and I get hungry. Does that happen to anybody else? Like, I don't know if you remember a few summers ago, Taco Bell was running their commercials for their beefy nacho burrito. Oh, I would watch those commercials. I would get so hungry. Oh, beefy nacho burrito. And just to put this story in context, I do live in Wisconsin. And I don't know really how to say this other than just to come right out and say it. Okay, I'm just going to say it. In Wisconsin, Taco Bell has been voted best Mexican restaurant 16 years in a row. So it's been 16 years now. I think it's safe to say Taco Bell is the best Mexican restaurant in Wisconsin. So anyway, I'm driving through Chicago. It's about 11:30 in the morning. My stomach's starting to growl. All I can think about is beefy nacho burrito, beefy nacho burrito, beefy nacho burrito. And then I see it like a sign from above, the Bell. Oh, and I've never been in this part of Chicago before, so I go screaming across like 4 lanes of traffic. I do an illegal U-turn. I pull in the exit of Taco Bell. I spin around. I get in line. Does this ever happen to you? You get in the drive-through line, and who gets in line right behind you? The car that you just cut off. I'd cut off this big black pickup truck, and he gets in line right behind me, and he is angry. Like he's bouncing around back there, making the angry face, and I'm trying not to look, and I'm trying not to look, and I'm trying not to look, and then I look. And then you wonder, can he tell that I look? Because it was through the mirror. You just get so nervous about everything. And I finally got up to the speaker, and I ordered my beefy nacho burrito. And then there was another wait before the line, before I got up to the window. And this guy is fuming. He's like burning a hole in the back of my minivan. And I finally get up to the window. And a thought pops into my head. The thought that pops into my head is, you know what I should do? I should buy lunch for the guy behind me. Yes, because I'm the one who cut him off. I'm the reason he's so angry. And so I said to the kid in the window, well, the first thing I said to the kid in the window is, how much is the lunch for the guy behind me? Because, you know, I wanted to be like $5 nice, but not $15 nice. And he said, well, he got the burrito box. It's $4.99. I said, you know what? I'd like to buy his lunch too. So I gave him my money. He gave me my change. A few minutes later, he gave me my food. And I have to admit, I pulled out of there kind of quickly because I didn't want one of those awkward pickup truck guy, minivan guy moments. And I pulled out of there kind of quickly. And I went like 3 blocks down the street. And I parked in front of a strip mall to eat my food. And I opened the bag. And I got his food too. Apparently, there was some miscommunication about the closeness of our relationship. Safe to say that the pickup truck guy did not get what he expected when he showed up. And he hasn't found me yet. So if you see a big black pickup truck parked anywhere around here, let me know, and I'm going to go out the back. Predictable is better than unpredictable. And so today, I'm going to show you how to create a predictable conversion rate in your signature talk. First thing we have to tackle is clarity. I've done this with thousands of business owners just like you, and I know this. If we can get clarity on 2 questions, we can write a great signature talk. If we don't get clarity on these 2 questions, it's going to be almost impossible to write a great signature talk.
All right. Hey, thanks for being here. So every morning, again, I'm going through my morning routine. I do about 30 minutes of content. Right now, I'm doing Pat Quinn and Pete Vargas because I'm focusing on building my signature talk and also webinars. I've already done my journal. This is my personal journal. This is my business journal with all my goals. I focus on my goals. I track my every single day, track my income per day. And now I'm watching content. I also want to share with you guys my talk because this week I'm actually presenting and I got to get my talk right. So right now I'm just kind of in a draft mode, but let me share it with you and see what you think. And I got to figure out how to get this into a sequence where it's under 90 seconds, but it still flows. So picture this, a small boy out of breath, about to dial 911 on a payphone. The police answer, he says, please help. My dad's going to kill my mom. I'm at 46 Bedoin Street. He then hangs up and runs back to his house as fast as he can. And then he climbs up to the porch like a monkey and scoots into the window and scoots under the covers and hides under his covers. 2 minutes later, he hears bang, bang, bang. The loud police at the door. Now he knew his mother was safe. You see, that was the first time he did that. The next time he didn't get so lucky because the police got to the house before he did. And now his father knew it was him. And he took the worst beating of his life. But you know what? The next time his mom cried for help, he did the same thing. And that was the moment he found confidence. That was the moment he became committed that he would protect his mother no matter what his father did to him. That little boy, that little boy was me 40 years ago. My name's David Hill, and I am a sales coach, sales trainer, and I've closed thousands and thousands of sales, and it all started on that payphone. And what's more important is I've helped thousands of salespeople become more confident, close more sales, and make more money. And right now, I know some of you aren't making your calls. Maybe because you're not confident. Maybe it's because you're scared. And that's okay, because I want you to remember I was the scared kid hiding under my covers until the day I committed. Now, you may not have the experience like I had. You may have had a perfect childhood, and that's amazing. And if so, great. But something is in the way right now. So I encourage you, I challenge you to use my experience as proof that you can do anything you want when you commit. Thank you. All right, what do you guys think? Did I do all right? That was my first. I got some. That was my first draft. I did it on the Great American Speak Off. I did a version of that. Actually, it's changed quite a bit. I've got through the first 2 rounds, and now I've got another call coming up this week. I'm excited about it. If I get through this round, I'll actually get onto the stage. So I'm really focused on mastering this, which is part of the reason why I'm watching the Pat Quinn training as well. What do you guys think? In the chat, if you want to drop a let me know what you think. If you thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever. Tell me what you guys think, if you liked it or not. So what I'll do is, while you're dropping some stuff for me in the chat, I'm gonna play a little bit more of Pat Quinn, and then it's gonna wrap up. I'm gonna wrap this up by 6:30, and then I've got a cycle today, so I've got to get on a bike, and we'll be back tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. My friends are gonna be here 6 a.m. And by the way, I'd love to get others in the conversation. So if you're here, you raise your hand, I will get you up. I will share the link with you so you can get into the conversation. All right.
What is the problem that you solve for your audience? If you're following along in your programs, we're kind of on page 7 right now. What is the problem that you solve for your audience? Now, when I ask most people what is the problem that they solve for their audience, most people don't give me a problem. Most people give me a solution. When I ask a health coach, what's the problem you solve for your audience, they say healthy eating. Healthy eating's not actually a problem. It's a good thing. What's the problem that you're solving? When I ask financial advisors, what's the problem that you solve for your audience? Most financial advisors will tell me a happy retirement. A happy retirement is not a problem. What is the problem that you're solving? And here's the hardest part. I want you to state it in the language of the consumer, not the language of the expert. Everybody in this room is an expert. You're an expert in your own specific area. You think about it all day. You talk about it all day. You read about it all day. And when that happens, the words that you use start to change. One of the hardest things for any expert to do is to remember what words they used to use to describe the problem.
So I'm going to pause for a minute. I'd love to know, what problem do you solve? What's the problem you solve? Not the solution, but the problem that you solve. So the problem that I solve multiple problems, but one of the problems that I commonly talk to people about that I solve is customer acquisition, helping people get more customers. Now, I solve other problems with confidence, right? Like, that's actually a problem I solve, is I help people become more confident salespeople. Yet, if you say that to somebody, most people will be like, yeah, I'm not looking for that. I'm all set. But when you say, I'm looking for customers, I'm looking for new customers, I'm looking to get better, I help people get better at the closing process, I help people get better with follow-up, then they're like, yeah, okay, I can use that. So although at the end of the day, I do help people with confidence, I do that through sales.
back before they had a solution to the problem. But if you can get this right, and by the way, you'll know you have it right because the moment you say those words, the person sitting in front of you will start nodding their head and leaning into you. Happens one-on-one, it happens one-to-many. When you describe the problem in the words that the audience was thinking about the problem, they can't stop themselves. They start nodding their heads and leaning into you. That's why my first piece of advice for any of you, if you ever take a stage and have a chance to speak, whether it's in front of 3 people or 300 people, stop filming yourself. Turn the camera around and film the audience instead. And you will learn more by watching your audience for 5 minutes.
Film the audience. I love
video
that.
Of yourself for 45 minutes. You'll learn the best parts of your presentation and the worst parts of your
That's a great
presentation.
point.
You'll learn the most engaging parts of
I
your
wrote that
presentation.
down.
And you'll
Film
learn
your
the least
audience
engaging
instead.
parts of the presentation. When we were up on the 10th floor of Damon John's office in Manhattan, and he wasn't really paying attention to me, I said, this is the boringest part of your presentation. Everybody in the audience was looking at their phones when you were talking about this. I thought he was going to kick me out right then. He said, how do you know that? I said, well, I didn't ask for the close-up view of you. I asked for the back camera that had the super wide view so I could see the first 30 rows. I could see when they were taking notes. I could see when they were leaning in. And I could see when they were checking their phones. And this is the worst part of your presentation. You should get rid of that. From that moment on, he wrote down everything I said. I gave him my mom's apple pie recipe. He wrote it down. Like he was just taking notes. Because I was paying attention to something he wasn't, which was his audience. By the way, if you're on Zoom, you're having a meeting on Zoom, a phone call on Zoom, a webinar on Zoom, the Zoom equivalent of this is to record the gallery view. So the default on Zoom recordings is to record the speaker view. If you watch back your webinar recordings or your Zoom call recordings, you'll see one face big, whoever's talking. There's a setting within Zoom where you can check a box to make a second recording.
You guys hear this?
Video of the gallery view, which will actually show you 49 faces of people in the room. And trust me, when you're on Zoom, you don't think anybody's watching you. You'll get up and go to the bathroom, you'll yell at your dog, you'll check your phone, you'll send emails. You can tell instantly who's paying attention and who's not. So getting the language right on the problem is so important. What words did the audience use to describe the problem? Can you get the customer language right? And you'll know because they'll be nodding and leaning in. Let me give you a hint. If you're using the word mindset to describe the problem, you're doing it wrong. Because the person who has a mindset problem would never use the word mindset. They don't even know the word mindset. If you're using the word 10x, you're doing it wrong. I would almost guarantee the person who you're talking to, your ideal customer, doesn't know 10x. How would they describe it? Nobody woke up this morning hoping for your program. Nobody woke up this morning hoping for your system or your product. You know what people woke up with this morning? Problems. And they will pay you to make them go away if you can describe them in their language. Here's my question. The night before your ideal customer would meet you, what were they laying awake thinking about the night before? The night before your ideal customer ever met you, what were they laying awake complaining to their spouse about the night before, or complaining to their business partner about the day before? And what words did they use to describe it? You get those words right, and you're going to have a great signature talk. You get those words wrong, it's going to be really hard to write a great signature talk. So that's the first clarity question. What is the problem that you solve for your audience? The second clarity question is, who is your ideal audience? I know some of you think you have something that's right for every living human being in the world, and I hope to help you get there one day. But you should start with a smaller niche audience. You should start with the lowest hanging fruit. It's much easier to write a great talk when you think of a specific audience. What's the lowest hanging fruit? Oftentimes the lowest hanging fruit is a group that you belong to. When I first started helping speakers become better speakers.
All right. Well, hey, welcome. I hope that was awesome for you. My notes here I wrote are, figure out the problem that you solve. I want you to write down the problem you solve and not and like what he said, people don't believe they have mindset problems. People don't believe they have problems with, confidence. I mean, some may, but most people, they're, when you say I help people with confidence, they're gonna be like, oh yeah, yeah, I want that. But when you tell people you help them close more sales with follow up, that actually leads to confidence, right? I help people better handle sales objections. Like that got me one of my biggest clients ever. I met a person and he's like, "What do you do?" I says, "Well, I help business owners with salespeople handle sales objections more effectively, communicate better, and follow up." And he's like, "Oh, I've got a sales team." And next thing you know, I'm doing a high ticket workshop for him. So it's really about the problem you solve, and then the second is who do you serve. You got to think about your avatar, your customer persona. Who are you serving? So that's what I'm going to challenge you to think about today. I'm going to wrap it up today. I want to say thank you for being here on the first time we did this. We will continue. I will continue showing up. I will get even better and better as I continue doing this every day. But same, it'll be similar tomorrow. I'll have my journals, and we'll talk. Please come back. Bring some questions. Bring some friends. If you want to get in the call, I'll even willing to invite others in. I can share a link with you, pull you into the conversation. You can be on video with me. I'll share my signature talk again so you can hear how much improvement I've made between now and tomorrow. So I'll be back. I'll be back tomorrow. I just want to thank you for being here. Make sure you put it in your calendar, 6 a.m. We'll see you tomorrow at 6 a.m. I hope you have a phenomenal Monday and go do something great today. Thank you.